live.
Live.
Yeah, and I'm over here all cozy on the left side, even though I'm on the right side.
In real life.
Yeah.
Notification.
It's like there's a barrier between us, like.
Okay.
We watched a movie.
Yeah, we did.
So what movie did we watch, honey?
We watched Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Speak a little louder, though. Just make sure that you're getting picked up by the microphone.
We watched Thanksgiving.
There you go. Your voice is worth being heard, honey bun. But yeah. We watched the movie Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was directed by Eli Roth or what, but his name popped up somewhere in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so...
He's somewhere in there.
I don't remember if I saw him or not. But yeah, it's a horror movie. It's a Thanksgiving horror movie, slasher movie. I wouldn't necessarily say horror because there's nothing terribly scary about the movie in of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more than a few jump scares, and I don't want to get into spoilers yet, so I'm saying that for you. Don't mention any spoiler-free kind of stuff. But yeah. You didn't know what to expect at all.
No, I didn't.
What did you expect?
Well,
going into this film, don't even talk about the movie. Just try to, because apparently this movie just caught you off guard and you had to go have a panic attack in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
While I was still enjoying the movie.
Well, I thought it was going to be like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And like there was going to be a monster, or maybe it was a ghost, or, you know, pilgrims from the dead.
Yeah, undead pilgrims, yeah. I'm tracking with you. So is it just being a person that it bothered you?
That too, and like person-on-person violence, I guess.
Yeah.
It becomes more real.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still not like he's still got the mask and everything on. There's still like horror kills, so it's not like, you know, you and I go out on a date and then, you know, some black guy randomly just stabs me to death right in front of you. And like afterwards, you just do a GoFundMe so you can go to the Bahamas with your friends and claim that I would have liked the guy who stabbed me to death.
What?
Oh, that's a real thing that happened, by the way. That journalist that got stabbed to death, his fiance came out and said, like, you know, he would have stood up for that poor disparaged man and yada, 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 and had a GoFundMe so her and her friends could go on vacation on everybody else's bill. I still think, and this is just my opinion, this isn't actual fact, so nobody come after me, but I think that, like, she wanted that dude dead because of like the way she was able to just blow it off and then later cash in on the fact that he died. Like, we're not talking about the movie, by the way. We're talking about real life for a second, even though that may be a bit confusing because we're talking about people getting unalived. But anyways, back to the movie. You were expecting like monsters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like, I kind of thought that they might go with like the pilgrims coming back to life.
Yeah, like pilgrim zombies.
Yeah. And zombies are ghosts, you know.
You know, that would have been that would make a great movie. It's like undead pilgrims come back, so like everybody has to like go to the reservation and be like, "Save us, Indians!
Mm-hmm.
Kill the fucking pilgrims!"
Like
and the Indians are like, "We knew this day would come." Yeah. Get the boomstick. Bring lots of fire water. We're gonna cook these turkeys.
Oh, fuck.
Oh man, but the movie Thanksgiving, actually, I don't know, I liked it.
It was good.
Would you have had a better time if you were more prepared for what the movie was?
Yeah.
I'm
Even
sorry for that. I really wasn't prepared.
I could have.
I mean, I had a pretty good idea when I saw Eli Roth pop up on screen. I mean, you've seen Cabin Fever, right?
A long time ago.
Did you see that that Grimehouse thing that they did where it was the Planet Terror and Death Proof, where one of is like two movies together, but one of them was the one with fucking I think it was Kurt Russell, but he is like a stunt man and he likes to just like cause accidents that killed people. But yeah, you have seen Cabin Fever, but
I've seen
it. Well, have you've seen Hostel, haven't you?
Again, a long time ago.
You tried to get me to rewatch that at one point. I don't like that movie. I think this movie did a lot better for an Eli. I don't remember if he directed, but his name's attached to it. That's better than most movies. Because I really didn't like Cabin Fever because everybody was a total fucking chode in that movie. I mean, you know, I don't get it. Everybody acted like a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anybody I could actually root for in the movie.
Sure. The characters were lacking, definitely.
Yeah, and everybody was a fucking total prick. You really didn't care. And I didn't like Hostel because it was even worse because the main characters were even fucking more obnoxious now because you had to enjoy watching them get tortured and yada yada yada. Anyways, I don't like that shit.
Right.
But this movie was good. This movie was like kind of like a Halloween movie, and I mean by like the Michael Myers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely a great fucking... I'm not comparing it to Halloween necessarily, just a type of slasher. It's very exploitation slasher. It's got a lot of great kills in it. Mm-hmm. I can honestly say that, you know, this is still spoiler free, but they did a decent job because, like, I couldn't guess who the killer ended up being because it's like a small town thing. So, like, the whole movie, you're like, oh, who is it? And they set up a bunch of red fucking herrings.
Yeah, really well, too.
They set up a lot, and they all kind of had their own little kind of payoff where it's like, oh, shit, that's not really what, but it made sense.
Like, even if it was that
And the
one of those people.
And the one that it ended up being, this is without spoilers, was one I didn't even like see coming at all. Like I didn't suspect it whatsoever. I never even crossed my fucking mind the whole movie. So that they actually did a fantastic job there.
I did kind of pick up on some of the content, like the clues that he dropped were like,
yeah, you're getting too into it. So
yeah. Anyway, it came together once. It clicked once it came out.
Yeah, it came together really well. Definitely go see it. If you don't mind spoilers, we're about to get into that. But if you do mind spoilers, get the fuck out of here. Go watch the movie.
In a comfy chair.
Yeah, in a comfy chair. Well, yeah, our theater's been getting like the better recliners, but the chairs we got were the old ones, and for whatever reason, they make you feel like you're like you got a midget just pushing behind your seat, so that way you have to kind of like lean forward because there's like this invisible midget that's just like, you know, you can't let the people get too comfortable, and then they won't fucking leave. Yeah.
I think if we would have sat one forward, because we were against the wall.
Well, if we would have sat one forward, I would have been in some guy's lap, and you would have been in some girl's lap.
Yeah.
Which I'm opposed to my predicament. But I don't know. But yeah, there were two people. But I didn't want people behind us. That's why I like being up top against the wall. I don't like people being behind us. Of course, you know, bing, 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 bing. We have a winner. Fucking Mexicans brought their kids to see the fucking movie. Yeah!
And the fucking child was traumatized.
Yeah, that kid was literally losing his fucking shit during this movie, and I felt bad, but I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, man.
I said it kind of out loud too. Oh, imagine that. Shouldn't have brought your kid to a slasher movie.
Well, they probably, I don't know, they have to speak English to see the movie, but I don't know. But yeah, surprise, surprise. Mexicans, please stop bringing small children to R-rated movies. I love you guys. You guys got awesome tacos, awesome burritos. But please, for the love of fucking God, get a babysitter.
Something. Like, the R-rated movie is not a family affair.
The only time...
You don't have to bring everybody. You don't have to bring grandma.
Yeah, like that's what happened when we saw the first Deadpool movie. We went on Valentine's Day to see that, and some Mexican dude brought his whole goddamn family. Like, I don't know if they just got out of a wedding or something, but there were fucking aunts, there were uncles, there were extra cousins. This is a fucking whole goddamn family, like 12 people. There's fucking kids just in front of you, fucking running back and forth. Yeah. And then you got the fucking aunt, like, talking about, I don't know why I came to see this fucking movie, you know, I got my hair all did for this fucking shit, and I'm like, bitch, shut up.
I don't know why you're here either.
This is a voluntary thing to participate in. Why are you not just fucking outside, chilling in the lobby, trying to get some dick? Go work that hair, woman. Go out there.
Get it.
Go chill in the lobby, be like, yo, sucky, fucky, you know? And you'll have a better time than interrupting my fucking movie. Yeah. Anyways, the kids weren't that bad, but yeah, there's one kid that had like an emotional fucking breakdown, I suppose. He got really upset during one part of the movie where a guy gets decapitated. Well, there's a couple of decapitations in the movie.
The movie we just saw?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
No, we're talking about completely different movies.
Well, we were talking about Deadpool too.
Yeah.
So I was making sure we're back to...
Well, I just talked about the family that was here this time, so we're back.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, really good movie. The kills really line up. basically, if you want a short synopsis of the movie, like, it's fucking, like, the day, it's Thanksgiving Day. And I guess this big store, it's sitting for Walmart. It's like Right Mart or something like that. But Right Mart decides they're going to start their shit and open at like 11 o'clock.
6 p.m.
Oh, it was 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thursday,
it was
6 p.m.
Okay. At 6 p.m., they were going to open their store, and they had a bunch of giveaways and shit. It basically plays out like that whole fucking thing at South Park did with the Black Friday thing. Like, Black Friday, it's coming. They basically just did that. And that's not the whole movie. That's just the setup for the movie. Because the movie is a year later after that event. Certain people who did certain things at that event are getting killed off one by one. And I guess the killer has Instagram, and he keeps fucking posting shit. And he
goes live.
Yeah, he goes live and he tags his victims and shit. I mean, that part was okay. Fairly believable.
Right.
I don't really have any complaints about the movie. I have a complaint. I have a complaint. I saw an R-rated horror movie. I did not see one set of fucking tits, man.
You're right.
Not one. I don't know who dropped the ball, but I mean, tits and horror go together like dogs and peanut butter.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. My nose is really itchy. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, God. It was really itchy. Anyway.
Yeah. You need digging for gold over there.
No, it's just inside of the edge of my nostril.
But yeah. Overall, yeah, I guess we said the spoilers thing, so we can get into it. But yeah, it starts off with the Black Friday thing. And
it's horrific.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking crazy.
Like, you're watching, and it does look kind of goofy at the same time, because it's all gonna look goofy with prosthetics and bullshit like that. But
well,
you're seeing bones break, and
I was surprised in the directions that they chose to go, because like originally, like I was like, oh shit, you got all these people like up against the wall thing, because like they were all just pushing up on the doors, and the guy was like, lock the doors, don't let anybody in, they're too fucking crazy, you know. And what I thought was going to happen was like a bunch of people, and they missed out on a really good kill this way. But I thought like a bunch of people were going to like get crushed up against
they kind of set that up too, because they mentioned about they're going to crush them. Like the people in the front against the glass, they kind of set that up too.
Yeah, but then the glass just fucking breaks, and then they
gashes that one guy, and then it falls on.
Yeah, this one guy who happens to just fucking walk through just happens to get clipped by this piece of glass,
and he's just squirting. trying to get his
Yeah, well, you're getting too far into it. We're still at the breach. So you need to calm your fucking tits.
Excuse me.
Well, excuse you. You fucking misleading the goddamn audience.
But anyway, he gets...
Anyways, yeah, so I thought some people were going to get crushed. And that's kind of seemed like if they were setting up for that. I was like, oh man, that'd be fucking wild. You know, you get to see blood spurts on the fucking glass and stuff like that. Probably really cheap to do.
Dripping from the roof, too.
Probably very cheap to do. I mean, I don't know why they didn't do that, but missed opportunity. But anyways, the people end up pressing. I guess the security guy's like, he's just like, for whatever reason, he needs a key to unlock the door, even though when the manager came in, because the Wi-Fi keeps trying to steal us. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, so like, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So like a security guard's like on the inside or whatever, and he's like fumbling with the key, trying to get the key.
Drops the keys.
Even though like this character is supposed to like look like, I guess, like a 40-year-old dude or whatever, you know, somewhere around there. He wasn't too old, he wasn't too young, but he is handling those fucking keys like he was Michael J. Fox for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But anyways, regardless, right above where he was trying to put the key was the latch that the manager turned to lock the fucking doors. So I don't know why he didn't just...
Yeah, I don't know either.
But anyways, that was a silly thing to do. I guess they had to have a reason to have him in front of the door, because he gets killed, he gets trampled.
Because the door falls on him.
Yeah, the door falls on him, so he gets all cut up with fucking glass, and people are just walking on him to go over it to get their shit. They're just walking on top of them.
Free waffle iron.
Yeah, so everybody can get their free waffle iron, which I thought was really funny.
And the kills once they get in.
Yeah. After the door falls on the security guard who was trying to open the door,
he stays alive.
He stays alive pretty much the whole thing. We never see him actually die.
Until the very end of it.
No. You don't even see that. You just see Home Dude get his fucking arm.
Because he's trying to rescue him because he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it does like a quick cut after the sheriff shoots in the air.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways.
They imply that he died.
Okay. You're distracting what I'm talking about. I don't understand why you were sitting over there in your little fucking tree throwing smoke bombs at me. You could be aiding in what I'm talking about, not throwing fucking ADHD smoke bombs at me.
I apologize.
Anyways, after dude gets squished by the door, he's not dead yet. I don't know who our first victim is. I think it's the guy with... Because I think only really like 3 people die in the Black Friday thing, from what I understand. That they only show 3 deaths. There may have been more, but they don't. They only remember them showing 3 deaths because there's the guy had the door fall on him, even though he was alive. all the time he was on screen. He died off screen. But yeah, they say later he died. And then there was a guy who came in through the door after the glass broke, which I'm really not sure how this happened because the whole frame of the door fell on that guy. Mm-hmm. The whole frame. So you would think that after that fell along the sides, it'd be like some kind of like smooth surface.
Like the frame.
Yeah, because the whole frame of the door fell down.
They did show like a couple shards where it had kind of shattered and then fell in. So they did set that up too.
No, they didn't, because the whole frame fell down on top of that black dude. That means all the glass fell down, and with the frame down, there's another thing around it. It's not just...
They showed it shatter.
Yeah, on top of the black guy.
That's why it broke. The glass broke, and then it fell in.
Yeah.
You saw the shards. They showed that.
Yeah, but it was on the floor, so how did this guy get hit by it as it was still attached?
Some of the shards were still stuck to the frame, because not the whole frame fell in.
We're going to watch that movie again, but that whole fucking door frame fell on the black guy. That's why he was pinned. It
shattered. But other parts of the frame, because there's different frames for each window pane.
Well, the whole thing fell on top of the dude.
It shattered. I watched it too.
Yeah, but after it shattered is when the guy got cut, after it was shattered on the floor.
It shattered with the pressure.
You're standing up for movie logic. You shouldn't stand up for movie logic.
Well, I saw it happen. They set it up.
They didn't set it up. The glass was just magically there.
Okay, whatever. I saw it.
Anyways, the next guy who dies, he comes in through the doorway, gets cut by the magic glass. Yes, we see the glass there. We see... Anyways, he gets cut like in the neck, like the jugular. You really don't see anything. He's just got like a blood pump. It's just like, you know, it's just doing its thing there. And the next death is like some lady who is, she's the wife of the manager of the store. And he has to be at work because somebody had called out or something like that. And they told him that, you know, if you don't come in, you're fucking fired, bro. So he's like, all right. So, you know, the wifey comes and tries to bring him dinner or whatever.
It was Monica from Friends.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, she's got a lot of plastic surgery. She's had a lot of fillers.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ.
But yeah, it was Joan Rivers meets Monica.
Holy shit, she looked bad.
Yeah.
Alright. So, but yeah, so she came to bring lunch to her husband. Or not lunch, but just Thanksgiving dinner because he had to leave before everybody ate. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was really kind of odd because it seems that the kids hadn't eaten either, because as soon as the dad got the call to go into work, that's when like the kids are like, oh, we're gonna go to see a movie, you know?
Yeah, that's weird.
And like, did they just say fuck the food?
I guess.
Because at no point, because the next thing is they're in the car and then they're like, let's go to the store. And they're like, I thought we were going to the movies. And then it's like, we're teenagers. We have no fucking idea what we're doing. We're going wherever the killer's gonna be.
And then I guess the mom said, well, fuck this.
So I guess the mom brought the Thanksgiving dinner that everybody walked away from to her husband.
It's like movie breakfast, where the mom makes this huge spread breakfast. They grab an apple, take a bite, and leave.
Yeah.
Or take a piece of bacon.
It's kind of funny to that degree. I thought it was... But I'm just thinking about it now. I'm like, who the fuck ate that meal? Everybody left.
It just sat on the table.
The mom's just sitting there by herself, just looking at the fucking steamy food and shit. I guess I can bring Dan some while he's at work.
Fuck.
Fucking kids don't want any of it. Selfish fucking bastards. Who the fuck goes to see a movie on Thanksgiving?
In the middle of dinner.
In the middle of dinner. Who says fuck Thanksgiving dinner? I want to go see a movie. Like, honestly. Especially if you don't have to cook it. Like,
right?
Bro. Let's be real. But yeah, so the guy's wife brings him food, so she's kind of like caught in the crossfire. Yeah, we forgot what led to the fucking stampede of sheeple. Well, some girl, her dad owns the fucking company. Like, he owns Right Mart.
Yeah, he is whatever Wright. Because Wright's his last name.
Yeah. So she's able to actually get into the store before anybody else with her friends.
She can get in the...
And her friends are a bunch of jocks. And...
kind of douche nozzles, honestly.
They're all fucking really stupid, but...
I mean, they're movie teenagers.
They're supposed to be, so I'll let it slide. But yeah, so like, I guess they're like getting all the stuff before everybody else. So like the jocks and everything are like fucking, they're antagonizing the people who are still locked outside because it's still not technically time. Those people just got in because the daughter of the owner let them in. And anyways, you know, shit just ends up hitting the fan. And the people who die are the bodyguard or the security guy at the door.
The wife.
The guy who got stabbed in the neck. And then the wife of the store manager dies because she gets knocked over. And for whatever reason, she forgets how to walk.
I think she keeps getting knocked over.
Well, they don't show that. They just show her getting knocked over, and then she just lays there for a few minutes. Nothing's happening. Nobody.
She's trying to get her Tupperware. Because she spilled her Tupperware. She was trying to grab her Tupperware.
Yeah.
So she was staying on the ground to grab her Tupperware and get it off the floor.
Well, that's a mighty fine thing to do when people are running all around you. Like, fuck the top, it will survive.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't, it's not worth your life.
Well, apparently she thought so.
Because it definitely...
But yeah, she ends up getting pushed down. And for whatever reason, I know you say she's on the hunt for Tupperware, but that didn't happen until the very end. But she was on the fucking floor just...
She was on the floor for a long time.
Doing nothing. Just existing. Just... I don't know, she just decided to roll on her back and just look up and just fucking reflect on life. I'm not sure what she was trying to do, but she absolutely made no effort to get on her feet or anything. I'm not sure why she ended up dying. Like, I know what killed her, but that's the one death where even with the magic glass, I can look by that. But, you know, her just not doing anything for self-preservation is just a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Because, like, even the guy who got cut by the glass, I mean, he was kind of pushed into it too, so it's not like he ran up to glass and was like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense how it happened, and it makes sense how the black security guard guy dies, and it makes sense how she dies. It just doesn't make sense why she died.
Why she was down there.
Why she was down there for so fucking long. But yeah, she's ended up laying on the floor, and for a while they just show her getting knocked over, and I guess they keep cutting back to her, and she's still on the floor, but she's, you know, hasn't been stepped on or anything. None of that's been implicated. She hasn't been injured yet. She just got knocked over. And then the next thing you know, like towards the end, it's like, I guess she ends up like finally grabbing a piece of Tupperware or something.
Yeah, she finally reaches her Tupperware.
Yeah,
and then you see a cart.
Yeah, and then you see a grocery cart just coming, and it just
Kronk.
Gets her head just to the side.
And then
to add insult to injury, like a piece of her hair gets like caught in one of the grocery cart wheels while these two customers are like fighting and banging their carts together. They don't even acknowledge she exists. And then they go off, but when they do, like a piece of her scalp ends up coming off and
just dragging across the floor.
Yeah, just dragging across the floor. And then after that, the sheriff kind of like runs in and he looks and he sees like this. He sees the dead guy who got his neck cut, because he decided to still grab his waffle iron, like always bleeding out. And then he ends up like falling over on his back on just like a fucking stack of pallets, just clutching his waffle iron, which I thought was funny. But the sheriff comes in, he looks, and he sees that guy, but then he sees like somebody like taking the waffle iron out of his fucking dead guy's hand.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back. And then he looked and he saw the security guard guy. And then he looked and he saw the woman. And that's the straw that broke the camel's back. You saw her, and he's like, fuck, because he was just at their house, too. Because he was friends with the owner, because he came by to help give him some extra security or whatever, which fuck all he did.
He tried to make up for it.
But yeah, what originally started, and I'll get back to this, but yeah, but you're like, okay, well, the kids were taunting the people outside. Well, one of the people ended up just like snagging a megaphone from somebody, because somebody was kind of coming out and saying like, you know, the store's not open or whatever. And he just stacks the megaphones like, the store's open. So then you got like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people behind him. Like all of them heard store open. So now they're all rushing. That's why that happened. And then, yeah, and then like after
they're just knocking against the damn window.
After the sheriff or whatever sees that shit going down, he fires a shot in the ceiling, and that's just a hard cut to like next year. And then that's when it turns into the slasher thing where people are getting picked off one by one. The first one was the the chick who broke the woman's neck.
Yeah. With her cart. Her name was Lizzie.
Yeah.
She deserved to die, honestly.
Yeah, she really did.
That was a nasty woman.
She was a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Is like the people you're rooting for to die, they pretty much do. But there are characters that are likable, though. Like, you know, like the daughter, you know, she's just a stupid woman.
Yeah.
She's just being retarded. And the Bobby kid, he didn't even want to go inside the store, actually.
Yeah.
So he didn't even want to go. So it was pretty much just one jock wanted to go because he was like, I need a new phone. Yeah. And then some girl was like, yeah. And she looks over at her boyfriend, and she's a blonde girl. And bum, bum, bum. Her boyfriend's the black guy. I mean, I don't know if that's of any merit or anything. It's what it is. I guess somebody might see that and they'll be like forced diversity, but I don't know, it felt pretty natural. I think they just cast the right actor.
Right.
But it's sad that in this day and age I see something like that. I'm like, does this have a message? Is this propaganda?
Right.
Hello, propaganda. It's nice to see you again for the nth time today. Would like to bid you adieu.
Adieu.
But no, it doesn't feel there's no wokeness or any political bullshit in this movie whatsoever. Like, if you're even worried that like the message of the movie is like colonialism is bad, it's really not. The moral of the story is pretty much like the people who go ape shit on Black Friday are generally bad people, and I would agree. You know, not everybody who shops on Black Friday is a piece of shit, but the ones that we see in all those videos all across YouTube and
that would trample people to death.
Yeah, so you know, there are some people who just fuck the herds, man. That herd mentality. That's the real. I don't know.
The cow people.
Like, because at the same time, I really don't. I don't necessarily disagree with the killer. I just think he should have been more refined where he drew his line as to who his victims were.
Mm-hmm.
Because he ends up killing the lady who ends up getting the cart on her head. He kills that guy. There was a security guard. There were 2 security guards. When the crowd took away the megaphone and the guy said the store's now open, and like the guy just kind of smugly looks back at the security guards, you're like, you're not getting in. Well, he was fat. He's like, fuck am I gonna do? I can understand this guy because like he probably looked and he saw hundreds and hundreds of people, and he said, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And he just fucking left. He's like, nope.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
I'm not really sure why the killer wanted to kill him. I really don't feel like he did anything wrong. If anything, he just self-preservation. He got out of harm's way. I'm not sure what his presence would have done to stop the 200 to 300 people.
They probably would have used him as a damn battering ram.
He would have died like the other security guard, man. You think this guy just wants to sacrifice himself for fucking right, Mark? I don't know. I questioned that guy getting killed off, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like that guy did anything wrong.
Like second?
Yeah, and second, too. Like,
I could see the first one being first.
yeah, and second should have been the guy with the bullhorn, but they didn't wait until later for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets his comeuppance, and I understand him getting his too, because he's the one who is antagonizing the security guards, and he stole the bullhorn and told those hundreds of people that the store was open, so they would all rush the fucking door.
They broke the gate. This little flimsy concert gate that they have going on.
Yeah. But anyways, so they killed the lady with the grocery cart, and you know, she works at a diner, surprise surprise, a la Waffle House. It wasn't actually Waffle House, but if you've ever been to a Waffle House or seen pictures of Waffle House, you kind of know what this scene looks like. Anyways, he ends up fucking with her in there, and he did what I thought was going to be a really cool fucking kill, because he ends up startling her or whatever, and he like throws a bunch of fucking water on her. And then, like, I guess she was getting ready to put something in the freezer, so the walk-in freezer door was open. So he just shoves her up against that, and it's like her skin's literally like stuck to the freezer door. I thought he was just gonna shut the fucking door and be done with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he just poofed. After that, because she ended up getting off of the door.
She pulled herself off.
Yeah, she pulled herself off, and then she went and hid somewhere.
In the manager's office.
She pulled herself off, escaped, and locked herself in the manager's office.
And he was the one that opened the freezer door.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was in front of her for some reason, and then he pushed her into the door.
Anyways, she's in the manager's office, and she finally looks at all like the security cameras, and she's like, I don't see shit. I don't know why she's not calling the cops.
Yeah, that was weird.
I would just stay where I'm at, unless the building like starts to catch fire.
Yeah, I'm behind a fucking locked door that nobody can get in.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would leave the safe room that you were in that the person cannot get into.
Fortify the windows and take a nap.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's no windows in the manager's office.
I was just saying, if there are windows,
there's not
that we couldn't see. But
there's no windows in the manager's office. But anyways, she left the room because she thought it was clear. She looked at the cameras, and she immediately goes outside, and for whatever reason, she didn't decide to go ahead and have her car keys ready.
Yeah.
For one. Because if she had done that, she would have realized that she does not have her car keys.
Right. And she hopefully
because as she's fumbling for her car keys and like running to her car turns on and its headlights are pointed right at her. And guess who's behind the wheel? None other than our killer. Mm-hmm. And he likes to wear that, what was the mask again?
John something. Hold on.
Yeah.
It was John.
Anyways, it's a pilgrim mask. But yeah, so she ends up running from him, and I guess she tries to jump into a dumpster to avoid him.
Yeah, because he's driving at her, and
But,
so she's trying to get in the dumpster so she doesn't get smashed.
yeah.
But she's not quite tall enough to just meh.
Yeah.
So she's stuck in between, and I guess she's too fat to just pull herself over.
Yeah.
So she's in the
I know, but how did she get cut in half, though?
Because when the car hit, he rams the fuck out of the dumpster. The lids slam on her and cut her in half. It was just the force between the two.
See, that's the part that I question, though, because, like, every dumpster lid,
it's real flimsy.
It's plastic.
Yeah.
And really flimsy. And I've had those fall on my head.
Because you know how some of them have the thing that sits on top of them? The big metal bar? I think that slammed down too.
Oh, the thing that goes that way?
Yeah. On top of the lids. And you can like pull it backward and just put the lids on top of it. I think it was put backwards with the lids open.
But if she's laying over it, then there's no way that it caught
No, because it's on the other side of the lids. Because it sits with the lids on like this. It's a bar right here on the lids. And then you put it over and it sits on top. So it's harder.
I don't know, but somehow, some way, she gets cut in half by the magic dumpster. We have magic glass, now we have magic dumpsters.
Yeah, well, at least it tracks.
It was a neat kill, but I don't understand the dumpster thing.
I think it just had another metal bar that sat on top of the lids.
I'm just really at a loss. What I thought was gonna happen when she went into the dumpster was I thought he was just gonna reverse and keep crushing the dumpster with the fucking car.
And then it would sandwich.
And then you would just see like blood start to fucking ooze out, and then you could have like some close shots of like her like with blood just spurting, just, you know, like.
Yeah. But then he wouldn't have the body.
Well, he could still like fish out a piece of her after.
Yeah, her head or something.
But yeah,
that was fucking nuts.
Yeah, so that ends up happening. Which her kill is more like a silhouette kill. You really don't see a lot of detail until.
Because her head's in the dumpster. You just see her ass fall on the floor.
Yeah, you just see kind of like the silhouette because it's from a distance to a degree.
It's kind of like an onlooker really far away.
Mm-hmm. But you get a close-up of her legs. The next day, because I guess somebody had put goodness.
Because the killer, because the star, it's like Walmart.
Yeah.
They have it in the right.
The killer put the lower half of the woman on the signage.
With the star up her ass.
With the star up her ass, yeah.
And she's just dripping fucking blood.
So they just have the bottom half of her. The killer kept the top half of her. The next kill, which is the one that I really don't particularly care for, but it's the fat security guard. He's like, I guess, Was he like getting ready to leave town, or was he just chilling?
He was fleeing the country. He was going on vacation.
Okay.
To another country. Because he was looking for his passport.
Yeah. That's right.
He was going to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Because he was telling his cat.
Yeah. But anyways, so he's in his apartment and, you know, he puts down his passport. And the audience, you see him put down his passport. And then it's not where he put it. So he starts looking everywhere and boom, there's the killer. And this guy just gets his head chopped off.
Fucking cat tells... he asks the cat, where's the killer? Where's the killer? And the cat looks, like, into the kitchen. So he, you know...
And he's like, oh, he's over there. And then the killer just, like, immediately
pops
just
up from behind the couch.
I think the killer was under the table, but he just immediately pops up and cuts the guy's head off. And
yeah.
Then he feeds the cat.
Yeah, he fills up the bowl.
Yeah.
And pets the cat.
Yeah, he feeds the cat, pets the cat, and then leaves. So that's how the fat security guard, who honestly just acted on self-preservation.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
I don't think he really did anything wrong in the scenario at the beginning of the film.
I would have done the same thing.
But next up on the list...
Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Is the faggot who grabbed the megaphone and started the herd.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
I don't really remember him.
This was such a strange scenario for a kill. Because it's like they're chilling at the parade or getting ready, like where I guess they have all the parade floats and everything. Like it's like kind of like a big like fucking parking garage. I really don't understand what building they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if there is a building, because I see a lot of chain link fencing going on too. So it's like, are they indoors? Are they outdoors?
Oh, that's that place where the killer keeps leading them, that like parking lot, and then there's a bunch of those industrial buildings.
Yeah.
It's like the...
Yeah, but why would they decide to put all their parade floats there? Anyways.
Storage? I don't know.
Anyways, like, he's hanging out, and, like, I guess some cheerleaders, like, hey, you wanna come, you know...
Oh, yeah.
Fool around, and he's like, no sex. For whatever reason, I don't...
Maybe he didn't have... I think he didn't have time or something.
I don't know,
sex,
but
he just wanted to...
But he is like, no sex. And she's like, all right. And whatever. And
he kills it. Okay. Because I didn't remember this one.
Yeah, that's fun.
Anyway.
But you have to, like, smoke bombs. Stop it. Anyways, she leads him to a stage, and for some strange fucking weird reason, there's a single trampoline beneath a huge spotlight in front of the stage. So, like, if you were an actor giving a performance on stage, instead of an audience, you are performing for a trampoline bathed in glorious fluorescent lighting for whatever reason.
With a cheerleader on top.
So, like, the cheerleader decides to jump on the she tells the guy to sit down on the stage. She goes over to the trampoline. She starts jumping up and down on the trampoline. I'm over here having flashbacks to the Man Show, which their cheerleaders were a lot better than this one. I saw a little bit of butt. in this movie, but no tits.
You kind of saw her little pussy lips too.
I don't know, man. That may have just been.
Because she was taking her underwear off and bending forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that over.
Yeah, we're gonna need to rewatch this movie.
We're gonna have to investigate this.
Yeah.
Do a deep dive. How much nudity is there? But anyways, yeah, so she's like, you know, jumping up and down and showing her butt, and then she's like, I'm gonna take off my panties, and then she does that, and then I guess she's gonna like take off her top and turn around and be like, woo! Well, unbeknownst to her, and this is the crappiest kill of them all. But the killer just walks up this dude while he's like sitting there just watching his chick's tits bounce up and down or whatever. And he just like grabs his head and just turns his head around. So just snaps his neck and woo!
And then he kills the cheerleader.
No, he doesn't kill
Yeah,
him.
he does. That's where he's.
Oh yeah. And then he does kill the cheerleader, because this one I actually kind of like this kill, because like as she's like jumping, she suddenly like she does this thing where she's like has her back to him the whole time when the killer, and then I guess he ran underneath the trampoline real quick before she turned back around like she was gonna flash him her tits, and then she saw his body, started freaking out. But the killer started sticking a knife up through the trampoline.
Stabbed her in the foot.
Stabbed her in the foot. Like the knife came up in the trampoline as she was coming down, and her foot came down onto the knife. And then and that repeated a couple of times. And
it was like through her ass, and then through her back, and then through the back of her head, I think.
Yeah. I forgot she had died too.
Yeah.
I guess she was just with.
Yeah, she was there at the stampede. She was with the guy.
I know, but she didn't even do anything.
She hyped him up. She was there hyping him up.
Okay. Alright. But still, that fat security guard did not deserve it.
He didn't deserve it.
But yeah, the bullhorn guy, his death honestly was the shittiest one.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, who is our next victim?
I think it was the jock friend and his girlfriend, where he just abducted them.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he didn't abduct the he didn't abduct. Well, he kind of did abduct the jock's girlfriend, but he kind of killed her, like with the corn cob things.
No, that was a different girl. That was at her house. That was the black guy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But the jock friend, the white jock friend, had a girlfriend. They were going to the locker room or something to change.
Yeah.
Because the game got canceled.
How did they die?
They didn't die. They were just abducted. Anyway, they went and changed. Oh, yeah. They were coming back to meet back up with the main girl.
Yeah.
And they got drugged or whatever.
Okay, well that's not the one who dies that I was talking about.
But I don't remember.
Well, it's the one with the Russian father or whatever, who's me, and
right.
Like we're going to Florida.
Yes.
Pack. We go. Where? Florida.
I don't think she died either.
She died.
She died.
Because
yeah.
he got her with the fucking things in her ears for one, but then after that, he like really fucked her up because he was like drinking her blood or something like that. But
no, that was the cheerleader that he stabbed.
was it?
Yeah. He left her.
Oh no, he threw her on the saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Yeah. He just drugged her, but stuck corn cob holders.
That's right. So he threw that girl for starters. He stuck like those corn cob holder things. He stuck both of those in her fucking ears. And then she's like running away and like can't hear anything. And he eventually like gets her, but the whole time she was like live streaming it. They live stream everything on Instagram. Like they don't ever just have a Skype call between them. They're always like streaming private conversations.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was a bit much. I think they should have just had like Zoom calls or whatever.
I think they were doing like
FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Maybe, but like every screen they had, it had the little thing on the side with the likes and the comments and stuff, even on her end.
Huh. Maybe.
But anyways, they ended up rushing to her house because the killer's like having them watch her get killed or whatever. And they ended up running over there, and I guess her boyfriend got a gun because he's scared shitless. He goes over with the store owner's daughter for whatever reason.
Because they were on the other end of whether it be a phone call or alive.
But yeah, so anyways, I don't know how he ends up pulling the gun on the guy, but the guy's like holding the girl.
He couldn't get a clean shot.
And he couldn't get a clean shot. And somehow, some way, he just ends up like throwing her on a table saw where she like first it gets her fucking hands and then she like falls over on top of it and then all of her guts are like falling out and the black guy's just there all of a sudden like, what do I do? How do I help? How do I help? Like asking the dead person, which, you know, I actually buy that. You know, people actually do freak out to those degrees.
Yeah. I mean, imagine holding someone's guts in your hands, you know?
So the killer ends up getting away there, and then everybody else gets kidnapped suddenly because now he wants to just tranquilize people for some reason.
Because he's not killing those guys.
Yeah, they're the VIPs.
Right.
But he ends up capturing all of them, including the mastermind behind the whole Black Friday thing, which was the store owner's new wife.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up like cooking her like a turkey, essentially, and
that was kind of creepy to watch.
Unveiling the feast to his VIPs, and they're all tied to the table, to their chairs at the table, and you've got the store owner, you've got his daughter, you've got one of her jock friends, you've got his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You have the black jock, and I think that's it.
It for live.
Yeah.
Because he has Lizzie.
Because he also has, he has the other half of the fat lady corpse
The cheerleader.
from his first kill. He has the cheerleader. Well, these are all dead people.
Yeah.
But he has the cheerleader that he had stabbed. And he also has the head of the security guard.
On a plate.
On a plate. He doesn't have anything from the bullhorn guy.
Yeah, he has the bullhorn guy.
He does?
Yeah, he's just sat in a corner.
Oh, he has a whole body? I didn't realize that. I didn't notice.
He kept the cheerleader in the fridge because he was like, I've had this on the
he's
or whatever.
He's had the wine chilled.
Yeah. And sticks her in the artery.
Yeah, sticks her in the fucking neck with a corkscrew and fills the glass up with her blood, and then he goes to one of the jocks, not the black jock, but the white jock, and he ends up smashing his head in with a fucking
meat tenderizer. A fucking giant one. This thing's like bigger than my head.
And the guy's live streaming this too. So he's like, the audience, they've all seen what you guys did on that day.
Yeah.
Because, the guy who just had his head smashed in was a total fucking chode and decided to stand on one of the registers and record all the fucking chaos.
Yeah.
That he had helped cause. So he gets his head smashed in completely.
Like to a fucking pulp too.
Yeah. And then from there, he's trying to... He ends up cutting a bit of the thigh of the fucking guy's wife and tries to feed it to him. And at that point, the girl has cut herself free because she has magic knife ring.
Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Maybe and then she passes it to the jock, and as soon as he gets his off, he goes to swing. And as he's like fighting with the killer, she runs upstairs or whatever, and then I guess he ends up coming up. But then he gets like slashed just on his arm from the axe, and then he's like, I'm incapacitated. Which didn't make a lot of sense to me.
He did like swing the fucking axe into his arm. So, I mean, it was...
I get that.
You heard the crack, and I mean, you'd probably sit there and, too.
Yeah. But anyways, so the girl ends up escaping, and she ends up hopping a fence, escaping, and then she ends up finding the sheriff unconscious.
Which I don't understand how he got from the fence to his car, got knocked out, all in the time that she ran from the fence to...
This is why there's going to be a sequel. There wasn't just one killer. This movie tries to play it off like there's just one killer, but I guarantee you, if they do a second movie, another Thanksgiving, they're going to reveal like the other guy who helped them, because they have to have a reason of how because they said they never recovered the body or anything like that.
And when a firefighter's coming out, he has like a blacked out mask, and they have her like slow-mo watch this guy.
Yeah.
They set up a sweet sequel is what I'm trying to say.
You're getting way away from what I was even talking about, but The fact is that there's no way that the sheriff could have been chasing her and then magically been on the ground.
Right.
So that means that there's another killer.
Yeah.
And that's all I was saying. And I was saying they're also probably going to say that he helped the other guy get out.
And I think your theory on that, I think the more I think about it, I think you're right.
But yeah, the killer is revealed to be none of the red herrings that you had thought. The first one was you thought maybe it's the guy that the girl's dating now, Ryan, which I think he's the second killer.
Right.
I have a suspicion about that. But and they at first look at him as being the killer by the fact that they see on some security footage that he had hugged the security guard who died that night. And they're like, oh, he has motive. He knows the security guard, which lo and behold, no, he really doesn't. He just was told that he could score Adderall from that guy, and that's what they were doing. It wasn't a hug, it was a drug exchange, which I have partaken in those. Those are kind of difficult to do. I don't like doing those.
Right. I really don't like the one with like your hand and you like do a weird hand thing.
If you just like move your thumb towards your pinky, not like this part of your thumb, but like this part. Can you move this part? Like, do this with your thumb. Anyways, if you do that with your thumb and this part of your pinky, you kind of get them together. You can.
Oh, hold on. I got cash in my wallet. If you want to try that.
No, you just pull it up to a little square. And you can usually just.
It's been a while, huh?
It's been a while. I buy weed from stores now. I pulled that money out of my ear. Alright, there you go. Anyways, I don't like doing that shit. But black folks like it. I guess they feel like fucking secret agents or something. I don't know. I'm like, dude, nobody's watching this.
We're in your house.
But yeah, so the killer turns out to be the sheriff that she finds that was incapacitated, because what happens is she ends up stumbling upon him by jumping the fence to escape the one guy. And then she stumbles upon a cop car with the sheriff out there outside the car, incapacitated with a head wound. Well, apparently he was trying to bring Bobby back, but Bobby had escaped and clocked him with the fucking tire iron. Go Bobby.
Yeah.
Even though I think he's a cunt. But yeah, but she ends up seeing Bobby after seeing the sheriff unconscious, so she immediately is like, oh shit, Bobby's the killer. So she like goes to the sheriff. At first she grabs his gun and she's getting ready to pull a shot on Bobby, and then like the sheriff comes up behind her and is like, oh, I'm okay. Give me my gun back, you know. Is that him? She's like, yeah, it's Bobby. So he like goes in there and I guess he shoots off a bunch of rounds. I'm really not sure what he did because Bobby is not shot whatsoever.
Right.
Because he comes back later.
I don't understand that one either.
I don't really get that one, but I guess Bobby leaves.
He gets away somehow.
Yeah, he gets away
without
somehow.
his truck.
But Bobby leaves, and the sheriff ends up taking the girl back to the office, and I guess he decides to kill her because she realizes that, which this is a huge plot hole, that he has little fucking little burrs and shit on his fucking shoes that she does out by the fence. But he was never out by the fence. They show him like in this. The other killer was by the fence. I don't understand why he would have the burrs.
Yeah.
That's not really explained. There's a lot of plot holes, but all in all, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained. I'm glad we have a Thanksgiving horror movie now.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to have to rewatch it.
Yeah. I think the next one I want to see is going to be that Godzilla movie that comes out on the 1st.
That and Napoleon. I don't remember when that comes out.
Yeah, we'll go see the Napoleon movie.
I wonder if they're going to make him short.
I don't think he was actually that short. I think he was actually taller than the average person, Frenchman around the time. I think that's one of the historical inaccuracies. I had seen something about that. You can Google that, but I think it was that Napoleon, yes, he was short, but the average height of like the French people around then was a little under what he actually was. So even though he's short by our standards, by their standards, he really wasn't.
5'2". He was 5'2".
I know.
Or 5'6".
Look, I'm just saying, 6-foot swamp monkeys like me aren't exactly the standard. See?
He was a little taller than...
The estimated average height of a Frenchman in 1820 was 5 feet 4 inches. And Napoleon measured about 5 feet 7 inches.
Good to know. Maybe he'll be slightly taller than average.
Like I said, he was still short, but...
by our standards.
But they always, depict him as being, shorter than everybody else around him, where, no, he wasn't. He
probably was a little taller.
He is a little bit taller than the average, but he wasn't short by their standards. He was closer to average than anything else.
Yeah.
Let's smoke some more weed.
Yeah, man. Goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, I'd say if you can see this movie in the theater and you like old school slasher movies, kind of like My Bloody Valentine and shit like that, definitely go check out Thanksgiving.
It's definitely worth a watch.
If you don't like gore, there's not really a lot of this, and what you do see, at least to my standards, you can tell everything's fake. Nothing necessarily looks realistic. Though it is shocking. I wouldn't say the gore is terrible. I mean, terrible as in, like, it's not very intense.
Yeah. And had I known what I was getting myself into, I wouldn't have had a panic attack.
Yeah, and there are little bits in between here and there where the gore is, but it still looks goofy. You know, you can tell it's fake. It's not something. It's not gore that will disturb you, at least. I don't think. The kills were okay. More than a few of them were kind of. I got the hiccups. More than a few of them were just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like the bullhorn guy, he just gets his fucking neck broke. And I'd even say the security guy, with him just getting his head lopped off really quick, was kind of eh.
Yeah.
Especially when they set a precedent where in the beginning, where the first victim was put on the sign, you would assume that every victim afterwards would have some kind of public display, but no.
It was just the first one.
It was just the first one. It was just some kind of weird I'm here thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd recommend watching this movie if you like horror movies like that. And if you don't, I would recommend watching something else. It ends on a really good song. The end credit song was Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits. Which is always good to hear Misfits. Really loud, especially from the silver screen. But yeah, that was Thanksgiving. I'd probably give it maybe a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
A little above average, but it's still not perfect. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. A lot of magical shit happens.
Right.
Some really serious plot holes.
And maybe, if we have something new next time we watch it, maybe we'll be back.
Yeah. All right. Well, catch you guys later.